Not currently in the building with whom?
Sunshine Beatty. Lady Hudson.
Cool name D.
Think about his name.
Deborah J.
Emo.
Emo.
All right, so we got a couple of scenarios. We're not gonna do a role playing. I kind of messed that whole little process up with bad copying and pasting. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna mix it up. I'm not gonna give you the one I told you I was gonna give you another one. Your significant other admits that during the marriage that they fathered or mothered a child on a business trip in another country, but that they weren't aware. This is mostly a husband situation.
Yeah, because the woman would be
Yeah,
aware.
she would know. Let's say this happened in the first 3 years of your marriage. In this scenario, you all have children. What would you do? So the females, if your boyfriend or husband fathered a child on a business trip in another country but wasn't aware, and it happened in the first 3 years of your marriage, what would you do? And y'all already had children.
Go to the first scenario of I murdered somebody. Because I might think about my children. I might. You should. That's something you might want to slide in, like be in the kitchen and the kids are at the dinner table, so I can't react the way I want to. I wouldn't tell me that in private. My kids might lose father. When you cheated on me, you cheated. You lied, cheated, and you conceived a baby with somebody else. No, like that's too much. Like, I mean.
Did you find out about the child in the first 3 years?
Yeah.
Or did you father the child in the first 3 years?
Okay, well let's get some clarification.
The scenario just says, let's say this happened in the first 3 years of your marriage.
It doesn't necessarily say he lied, or the guy lied.
He lied.
I'll read it.
Because for him to have fathered a child, something had to happen. So not only did you cheat on me, like I think I could take it better if he cheated, messed up, and came home and been like, babe, I messed up. Then kept it a secret for 3 years, and I'm only telling you because I have a child.
That's not a lie.
I would not trust
And it
you.
doesn't say he told you.
My
That is a
mom,
lie by
she
omission,
watches Dr. Phil, and he said that's a lie by omission.
and that is just as much a lie.
Hey, I'm gonna screw your head up real quick. These scenarios I have altered. I'm gonna read you exactly what this says, like in its entirety. It says, and it gave 5 scenarios. The first scenario started. The first line was, "You've been married for 20 years." So, taking the current scenario, in its entirety, it says, same 20 years. Your husband admits that during the marriage, he fathered a child while on a business trip in another country, but that he wasn't aware. Let's say that this happened in the first 3 years of your marriage. In this scenario, you all have children. What would you do? I altered it because we're not married, and so I had to.
But
If
I
you're
don't
thinking
think the
about
amount
it,
of time matters. Whether we've been married 3 years or we've been married 20 years, it's still going to mess with my trust.
I mean, I think the fact that he didn't know might allow him to stay in my house.
But he knows
might.
he did what it took to make a child,
And-
whether
and-
the child was.
And
made
that's
or not.
why we're probably gonna go to counseling, we're going to therapy, and I'm gonna have to see her and think, will I ever trust you again? But the whole child, you not, like, the fact that he didn't know the child, I can't be like, oh, well, you lied to me when you did all this, you can see, because he didn't know. He knew he slept with somebody, but he didn't know that he could see the child, so I probably wouldn't take it out on him over there. I probably wouldn't even focus that much on the child.
Yeah,
I would
it's not
focus
about the
more
child.
on the fact that you cheated,
Yeah.
and that's like my
Well-
number one pet peeve. Like, you cheat, it's over.
What would make me worry though is he only telling me because he found out about this child? Would he have told me if a child wasn't conceived? And that's what would make me have a hard time ever trusting him again.
I'm sorry, but the time matters for me. Because that means that 17 years of my relationship was established on a lie.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
No. I mean, I just can't. I can't get with that part.
Yeah.
Cause like you cheated, all right, we can work with that, maybe. But like, I have a 17-year-old reminder of your lie.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue for me.
That's what I'm saying. The sooner you tell me, the more likely I am to forgive you. But you keep it a secret for 17 years? I feel like I've been lied to for 17 years, and like it would make it that much harder to trust.
I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna get it all the way to 8 o'clock today. I don't know. That's hard to
Might come up missing.
like, cause I was just thinking if I could flip that scenario, and y'all, the guys had to tell their wives that they cheated on them, and like how that process would be for the guy, or if the guy, as Demo alluded to, like been in a relationship with a female that cheated on him, and say for instance she cheated on him and she got pregnant, but she got like an abortion or had a miscarriage, and he thought it was his, because they have situations that happens where the woman cheats on him, she has a miscarriage, or she finds out she's pregnant, she gets an abortion. Don't tell him
Or she has a child and he raises it for 20 years as his own.
that as well. Like,
That baby will
how
look like me.
would that scenario change, guys? How would you respond to that?
I mean, I don't see how it
Yeah.
would change.
Man,
The song goes Murder, She Wrote.
Somebody is going to die.
I don't see how the scenario changes how a person's gonna feel. Like, if you're emotionally invested in somebody, regardless of the time, and you don't feel like you can trust that person, I think it can be fixed if you're willing to, but initially, that relationship is broken.
I mean, I have trust issues off the bat, so
Alright, Drake.
it only takes that one time, and that's all I'm gonna remember. I probably would never forget it or forgive you. So you mess up, just deuces. We ain't fixing this.
Oh, you listening, Frank?
Well,
Work on that.
the two things that came to my mind were, one, if I had to tell my wife or whatever that, you know, I had cheated on her and now I have a kid with somebody else, the first thing that popped in my mind was the interlude to Confessions by Usher.
Yes.
Because that would probably be the hardest thing I probably ever had to tell someone, because you're so
That's the line.
deeply invested in stuff. But then if I found out on the flip side that you know she had cheated on me and had somebody else's kid, I'd probably end up like that Cleveland bus driver. You going to jail now?
If y'all seen the movie, what is it, Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
When Julia Roberts' mom admitted that she cheated on the father, and it was like forever ago, and like they had that big fight, and then he like, you know, but I mean, she didn't conceive a child. So I mean, I think if you just cheated, like, and we've been together forever, and I find out, I might be able to work with you, but if you conceive, you know, the child, like, it's like you got this reminder now. Again, like, he didn't know, so it kind of falls back. But I don't know, when he was like, "Oh, I forgive you."
What about
You
if he told you that he cheated when he did, and then 17 years later you find out that he finds out, and I guess you find out that he has a child.
That's a whole different story. Like, if I knew it and we had dealt with it, that at that point the child would not mess with my trust issues. Like she said, I can forgive cheating if you tell me right away. But lying about it, keeping it from me, that's what I have a problem with. Because I understand, you know, I'm not saying I'm excusing it, but, you know, I'm not naive, and I realize, especially men think a different way sometimes. Sometimes, some men, some men. And so I guess I'm more forgiving of it than I used to be. I used to think if you cheated, it meant you didn't love me. But I realize now it is possible to cheat and still love the person. My problem would be the lying, because then I would have trust
It's
issues.
possible to cheat and then cut it off.
You did,
Oh.
but it don't matter. You were like, oh my god, I'm getting so angry over here.
Blood pressure's rising.
I got one more for y'all.
Yeah, something.
So that same movie, Valentine's Day, one of the females was a adult called person.
Yeah.
A lady of the night.
Now, what would happen, you know, that in that scene, he walked out and realized that that's what she was doing. How would you respond if your person that, you can say significant other, person that you're talking to or dating, you walked out of a restaurant y'all were dating and you found out that they were adult sex, what is it, sex line, chat line, what is it?
I was first off,
I can't do
Exactly.
I can't be mad. That's your job. Like, just, I don't know. I
But
think
again,
I'll be
okay,
mad
no
probably
upfront
the
is one
line
thing,
with,
but
yeah, or,
don't
you know,
tell
not
me.
telling me.
you purposely keeping it from me for a reason makes you feel guilty for some reason. If you don't want to tell me.
I mean, that's just like being a police guy. Like, maybe you don't want to live that everywhere. I don't know.
I mean, if you're a person, I need you to let me know.
Your significant other, there's not something as
doing?
huge as that you should not keep from your significant other. Whatever your occupation is, sex related or not.
Man, that wouldn't bother me. The only thing that would bother me, honestly, is if the conversation and everything was better than what happened in the picture. Like, if you were more imaginative on the phone than you were with me, then I would be upset. But other than that, do your thing.
I mean, if I never personally asked, like, in-depth detail what you did, then, I mean, I guess I had no reason to be upset because I never asked. Now, if I asked you to lie to me, then that'd been one thing. And like you were saying, yeah, you know, if you could think up some crazy ideas, but you're not trying them on me, then I'd probably be upset.
Cool. With that being said, we've not went as deep as we can go. We haven't enlightened some of the young men and women on how they can date effectively in dating in college. But definitely, what you can take from is if that's something that you want to do, if that's something that you want to invest in, take time to learn for yourself what you want and actively go out and seek that. There are people in university setting, in community colleges that are adults that are young and in our age group that want to go out and experience life. Go out some dates with friends and just spend time with each other. Like, do small things to kind of get yourself in that mindset of learning what you like and how you like to be wooed and how you like to woo others, and just be very intent on gaining experience so that it doesn't have to be a big disparity in people dating in college. I mean, it can be very fun, and there are a lot of, you know, cost-effective ways, a lot of inexpensive ways that we can date in college without it being a big hassle.
We did that.
Can I do a shout out before we leave?
Definitely go ahead. Check it out.
I would like to say thank you to Candace, Tom, and Gabby for listening tonight.
Listen.
Shout out to Lola, we love you.
I'm not offended, Lola.
Oh.
Happy birthday and happy anniversary, baby.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
It's his birthday.
Happy
Saturday.
birthday.
On Saturday.
Happy
Shout out to all the
birthday.
listeners and viewers on Ustream. We appreciate y'all.
I'd like to give a big shout out to Noah. Noah tuned in on the Ustream.
What's that?
No, Noah.
Shout out to everybody that's been a part of this process with me, rocking it. This probably my last time actually hosting this show. And the things I would like to say to certain individuals right now. Shout out to Sunshine B. I love her. She's love my life. Shout out to Lady Moxie, who's awesome, beautiful soul. Yes, you are. Shout out to our new recruit, D. We actually give him a better name because Kumo D was kind of not a lame name. Shout out to Ray Bans. I had to say it one last time. Ashley Devereaux J. Shout out to Ryan out there. And Corey, right?
Creeping. Yeah,
Out there chilling. And there was another guy too,
James.
James, out there rocking it in the lobby. Shout out to Demo. Shout out to Lola. And yeah, keep it rocking. Next week, Sunshine B is gonna be talking about space, needing that space, doing the Heisman on them, doing the Beyonce dance on them.
Yeah.
Man caves and woman caves, all that good stuff. Have a good weekend. Shout out to the Miami Heat for stretching into a game
Goes
7.
first.
Shout out that Friday is actually the first day of summer. You wouldn't believe that after all of this time has been going on. It's been kind of hot and a lot of bipolar weather. But definitely be safe out there and tune in next week and all of the many social media outlets that we have. Please look at them.